Are we good? Are we
We
on?
are live.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Elia Foscheron, the founder of Move, Think, Smile, and this is my partner, Adam Von Inns, and we are here to personally invite you to join our group, BurnOut to BadAss.
Yeah,
Adam,
and
you
if
want to
you
tell them a little bit about that?
yeah, if you just caught our live a few minutes ago, my microphone was not working, so we're doing this again. And yeah, guys, we really are excited to bring you some cool news. We've got a Facebook group. We started one back in the spring, and we've changed direction with it. And it's called Burnout to Badass, turning anxiety and fatigue into peak performance. That's kind of like the marketing lingo there. But what it's really about, we're doing a shout out to all professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs who are kind of feeling the effects of burnout. And we know there's a lot of you out there, right, Elia?
Yes, the World Health Organization tells us that stress is the epidemic of the 21st century and that 3 out of 4 of us are burning out. And, well, we've been there.
Yeah. 3 out of 4, that's 75%. That's one away from everyone, guys, are feeling the effects of burnout. The problem is it's become so much of our daily lifestyle that we don't know anything better. But I can tell you right now, if you're sitting around going, I'm fine, I'm just fine, there's a darn good chance there's a little bit of burnout going in there. Or have you ever noticed when you ask somebody how they're doing and they just say, busy, or I'm slammed, or crazy? That's called stress, right? And if you don't do something about it, it will start to cause some pretty radical physical symptoms, right?
Yes, physical symptoms that I know very well. Sometimes things like nausea or dizziness, sleepless nights, weight gain or weight loss, all kinds of crazy stuff. Headaches. I mean, yeah, tons of stuff. So we really want to invite you guys to come over to our group and check out what we have going on over there because we're talking about all kinds of important topics around burnout, fatigue, and anxiety.
Yeah, and just so you guys have a little history about us, we come from a pretty cool background. It didn't start off very cool. I got a graduate degree and then went into the corporate world and did some cubicle stuff. Hated that, burned out from that, packed it all up, came down to Charleston, South Carolina, opened up a retail shop, in the surf industry, kiteboarding industry more specifically. It grew really big. It did really well. We opened up a manufacturing company making paddleboards and surfboards. We had the American dream. But we hit a level of stress that physically threw Elia to the ground and caused me to deal with it with some pretty intense coping mechanisms that were one, expensive, and two, destructive to my health and to the people around me. And we had lost focus on so many things. And it took us years to bounce back from that. And during the process, we discovered kind of our own little system that we call Move, Think, Smile. It's all about making bold moves so you can think differently and smile more. And we want to share it with everybody. And that's why we've got the Facebook group. And so if you guys are listening to this and you're already in the Facebook group, thank you so much for joining. The response over the past just 7 days has been amazing, right, Elia?
Yeah, it's been awesome. We've got like 300 plus people in there.
Almost
And
350. So
yeah,
really in a really fast time. And so we're really stoked about that. We've gotten back into doing the lives, which we're going to be doing several times a week. Last week we got into the real reason you're not sleeping.
yeah, that was a good one. One I know very well and really took a look at, those nights when, well, you're exhausted all day and then your head hits the pillow and then your mind goes off like the 4th of July. We talked about, just really trying to figure out how to get that quality sleep and what is the real cause.
And you guys, if you haven't seen that one, dig into it. It's not what you might think. We truly believe the real reason you're not sleeping is not because of your to-do list. It's not because of, well, maybe it is because of your to-do list, because it's causing something. You should check that out. Today, a few hours ago, we did our another live, and where we got into the 4 productivity beliefs that are holding you back. And I
Yep.
can tell you, I have tried every time management software productivity achievement mastering system out there. Everything from the don't want to name any names, the habits of highly massive people to Slack to Google Notes to things to using bullet points to day planners to Blackberries to my watches and stuff like that. And, what we've really learned is that, the myth number one we're going to bust in there is that busy does not equal productivity. And so many people are living in a giant busy blur these days. And it's so funny when you go up to someone and you ask them, hey, man, how are you doing? And what do they say, Elia?
Yeah, they say I'm busy.
I'm
Used
busy.
to be, I'm fine,
I'm
but
busy.
now it's
it's
busy.
like, this is a badge of honor to me. Look at me. I'm busy. Look, I'm doing all this stuff. And look at all the little dopamine hits I get every time I check something off my list because a little check mark goes green and it's done. And it's, yay! Now I can freak out about the next thing that's coming up and not sleeping that night. Man, you got to watch the 4 beliefs that are holding you back about productivity because it's a lot of unlearning. And we've been taught so many crazy things, especially in the world of business and through college, of how to really not be productive, which is crazy. And one of the things that I think that still astonishes me is that an average person, right, who doesn't think they're feeling the effects of stress, somebody who's got an okay life, they're saying they're doing just fine, they got their car, they got the house in the suburbs, they've got the kids, right? You take that kind of person and on average, they're working 8 hours a day, but Ellie, how many hours of productivity are we getting out of them?
Yeah, like 3.
3 to 3.5. And that's for somebody who's doing okay.
Yeah.
Now you take somebody who's gone down the rabbit hole of burnout and that time gets bigger. And what's really crazy is to think about how, 3 hours a day, let's just say it's 3 hours a day. Let's compute that. That's 45 days straight a year. If you stayed awake for 45 days straight a year, how much could you get done? Or how much fun could you have if you had an extra 45 days straight a year, right? So people are losing 3 hours a day. They say you're working 8 hours a day, you're only getting 3.5 hours of productivity. That's actually more like 4.5 to 5. But I'm just going to say, let's say 3 hours a day. You're losing 3 hours a day, people. There's a lot of people doing that and they don't even realize it. So again, go over to Facebook if you're not in here already. Look for the group. Where's it at? My finger. There it is. Found it. BurnOut to BadAss. Trust me, if you do a search on it, it's the only group of its type on Facebook. And what's coming up this week?
We are interviewing actually one of our clients, David Bryan, who is going to be sharing with us his burnout experience. And it's a pretty intense one, but it is very inspirational. So definitely come and join us. I can't tell you how awesome it is when you hear people that have your similar struggles and how they're overcoming them, because it gives you motivation and inspiration.
Yeah, Dave's my kind of guy. He grew up in Boone, North Carolina, and he was a snowboarder, and he started his own contracting company, building custom homes, and has done pretty well for himself. And then he had some crazy stuff happen with his son and his business, and the anxiety and the fatigue and the burnout really took over from him, and just kind of, he's rebounding. He's one of our clients, and he's in the Move Think Smile program, and we want to share his story with you. And it's really, really, it's heartfelt, it's enlightening, and we really hope it shows you guys kind of the path to say that, there is another way to live. If you're feeling okay, but you're just like, hey man, I'm just not where I want to be right now, or, I'm in my 40s, but man, I really thought I was going to have more success in this, or I was going to have more in the bank, or I was going to be living in Portugal on the beach, or whatever it is, check it out. You might like it. And then you've got and then of course, if you're really experiencing fatigue and you're experiencing those crazy physical symptoms, anything from just, being extra thirsty or some weight gain, which happens to a lot of people, all the way down to the shakes, the nervousness. What is the stat, Elliot? 80% of doctors' visits are due to burnout and stress.
Yep.
Is that right? 80%. 80%. No wonder we're having a healthcare crisis. If we could just take care of burnout, guess what would happen to the insurance rates? Whoa, they would really drop, and more people wouldn't need healthcare, or they could at least afford it. That's kind of our goal, is the to make the world a better place. And so, guys, get a
Yep.
chance, come over, join us. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming up next week.
Yep. And it's really, it's all about the impact that you want to have and that we're having, and really creating some momentum and moving forward with creating badass life and doing things that you really want to be doing. So we would love to see you there.
Yeah. And then just real quick, just so we define badass, we're not talking about badass like back in the 50s, like some kind of jerk or something like that. We're talking about today's modern badass, and that is doing unbelievable things. Where, you're doing the things you're watching people post online going, oh, that's badass, that's cool. That's where we want to get you. We want you to become those people. We want you to become a badass with a mental motorcycle jacket who says no to garbage and enjoys more of what's good. That is what Move Think Smiles about. That's what Elia believes in. That's what I believe in. That's what we both live. And we'll see you in the BurnOut to BadAss group. Elia?
All right. See you there, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.